In case you missed it, new evidence has surfaced suggesting that King Von might still be alive. It all starts with the body cam footage from the night he was reportedly killed.
Oh, man, yo, you sit over here. You sit over here, brother. Yo, you better watch out. Okay? Hey, you want to chill? Come with me, okay? Okay. You, get out the car. Out the car, man.
This sparked speculation and a wave of theories, with some claiming there are major inconsistencies surrounding King Von's death. One statement making the rounds reads, "There are a lot of holes in the story of King Von's passing. If you look closely, you'll see them." If anyone were to fake their own death, it would be Von, especially considering the serious charges he was facing. After his reported death, Von was allegedly linked to the murder of FBG Duck, accused of paying O-Block members $100,000 and gifting several diamond O-Block chains to carry out the hit. He was also connected to the killing of KI and implicated in multiple other Chicago murders as detailed in Traplore Ross's King Von documentary. Around this time, someone close to FBG Duck allegedly tweeted King Von made it through 2 surgeries and woke up screaming for his firearm. He went into shock and passed away.
I made it through 2 surgeries. He had 3 surgeries, so he made it through 2 surgeries. And then after the second surgery, he hopped off the bed and started fighting the nurse. He said where his gun at, and he went into shock. So wow. How hours later, Taylor knows, come out from, he fought the nurse. She the one told me that. His mama didn't even know that. How do you know what's going on inside the hospital? That because she was there at the hospital.
In other words, even after being struck, King Von was reportedly still alive in the hospital, and that's where things get even stranger. People are now asking how Bowie could have known 2 years ago that Von never carried a gun. According to this theory, when Von regained consciousness, he frantically searched for his...
Like you said, the King Von situation. Like, there was absolutely no reason for Von to be rolling around with that dude. Like, there was no... Especially since he had security. Like, someone should have jumped in. It should have never even... I almost feel like... But I almost feel like if you have real security...
I feel like they would have been more ready in Chicago.
Sad, man. Sad. I mean, the whole King Von thing is really
me up,
for
bro.
everyone right now.
That me up, bro. Because I like King Von.
The story only becomes more confusing, yet even more intriguing, the deeper you dig. As you investigate King Von's passing, the inconsistencies begin to stand out, and a different picture starts to emerge. On November 5th, 2020, King Von and his crew were headed to a club in Atlanta to celebrate the release of his new album. What was meant to be a night of triumph quickly spiraled into tragedy. Growing up in the dangerous environment of O-Block, Von was well aware of the risks of being caught slipping. That's why he rolled deep to the club, accompanied by 20 to 25 O-Block members and additional security. The group arrived in a convoy of 8 vehicles. Even 100K Track later spoke about the extreme precautions Von took when it came to his safety that night.
Travel one security that moves with Von, and he traveled with 2 more security. You know what I'm saying? Von traveled in a crew truck, and not only that, his guys are security, man. He travels with 10 to 15 guys daily. They protect and love Von more than any security will. We're like, I think about 8, 10 cars deep, 20, 25 on Entourage.
However, as the night went on, something shifted. King Von's energy completely changed. He pulled his hood over his head and started distancing himself from everyone around him. While the rest of the group was still partying and enjoying the night, Von had grown noticeably quiet. Around 2:30 a.m., his entourage began leaving the club. Von got into the back of his Escalade, still hooded and silent, not saying a word to anyone. The original plan was to head back to the Airbnb and call it a night. But halfway through the ride, Von suddenly told the driver to turn around.
Everybody's mind leaving the club is that we're going to the hotel and Airbnb, because that's normal routine. The club you went to, the after the hours, wasn't getting paid for it. I didn't have no acknowledgement of. His team didn't have no acknowledgement of. That was the complete Von decision.
As the rest of the crew made their way to the Airbnb, King Von gave his driver a different order, take him to a club called Monaco instead. That single decision marked the beginning of a chain of events that would ultimately lead to the tragic end of King Von.
Everybody else that was with us driving to the Airbnb, and Von literally went to the venue by himself. We got a call later from people in the car, like, hey bro, we here by, matter of fact, I think from DJ was like, hey bro, we here by ourselves, like, where you guys at? And everybody rerouted to that venue.
For some reason, the people in King Von's truck didn't inform the rest of the team about the change in plans until they had already arrived at Club Monaco. That meant Von showed up with only one security guard by his side. When the rest of the crew finally got word, they rushed over to the club. As they waited in the parking lot, Von's manager noticed something was off. Von wasn't acting like himself. He sat quietly in the corner of his Escalade hood, up distant and withdrawn, a stark...
For some reason, Von wasn't himself. This man is like, I promise you, the best artist I ever moved in my life. For some reason that night, it was off. Like, he stayed in the car for like 30, 35 minutes.
Von's manager then got into the truck to check on him, trying to break through the silence. After a moment, he was finally able to convince Von to go inside the lounge. But because of the club's rules, everyone in Von's crew had to leave their firearms in the car. To play it safe, they decided to send security in first to sweep the venue and make sure everything was clear before Von stepped inside.
I went to the car he was in. I was like, yo, Von. Went inside the passenger seat. I'm like, yo, Von, bro, what's going on? Like, everybody here, wait, let's go. He was like, all right, let's go. We're telling security, hey, it's time to go in now. Von's ready. You know what I'm saying? We've been here too long. Let's go inside. We check the venue, go inside, check the outside, make sure there's no...
While security was inside, checking the club for any potential threats, the real danger was actually unfolding outside. Unbeknownst to most, Quando Rondo was parked nearby in his car, catching some sleep alongside a few of his crew members. As Von and his team waited for the all-clear to enter, one of the security guards spotted Quando in the parking lot. He rushed back to Von and said, "Did you know Quando was here?" A question that would shift the...
Right before we go inside the club, one of his homeboys came to the car and said, hey, so-and-so's here. And Von just jumped up like, oh, come on, let's go.
King Von reacted immediately. Without hesitation, he jumped out of the Escalade, determined to confront Quando. Quando's team scrambled to wake him up and get him out of the white vehicle. Von's crew tried to hold him back, urging him to stay calm and not escalate the situation, but he wasn't hearing it. Von moved around to the front of the SUV and without warning started swinging on Quando, who was still disoriented from being...
Jumped out the car. By the time Von jumped out the car, I don't even think he knew where so-and-so was. He just jumped out the car. He bumped into so-and-so. As soon as he bumped into so-and-so, started brawling.
Just seconds into the fight, Wando's close friend Lil Tim, who had been resting in the back seat, slid out of the car and fired multiple shots at King Von, hitting him several times. Von's manager was also struck once in the leg. At that moment, some of Von's crew, still armed, quickly drew their weapons and returned fire, taking Lil Tim down just a few feet away. The gunfire set off nearby car alarms, drawing the attention of two off-duty officers working security nearby and one on-duty officer who rushed to the scene. They opened fire, hitting and killing one of King Von's friends. Meanwhile, Von lay in the middle of the street, with Quando Rondo right next to him. Many believe Quando was attempting to snatch Von's chain before fleeing, but 100K track suggests Von was holding on to Quando, using him as a shield.
Did he try to take Von's chain, or?
Honest truth, I don't think he really had no jewelry on, and from the people that was a little closer, Von was actually holding onto him, like, man, you ain't nowhere. You here, like, even through getting, he's that strong, like, he was really holding him.
Once the chaos died down and the gunfire stopped, the focus shifted to saving King Von's life. His best friend Moo sprinted into the middle of the street, pushing Quando Rondo aside and quickly lifting Von up. Moo helped him into the getaway vehicle, as Quando and his crew sped off in their white car, heading straight to the hospital. Despite being shot 4 times, King Von remained conscious throughout the ride. According to 100K track, Von was actually the one in the passenger seat staying. In good spirits and reassuring everyone he'd be okay, adding even more mystery to whether he truly survived the ordeal.
When he was in the car, I myself wasn't there. The gentleman that was in the car with him was panicking, and Vaughn was the one that was like, "Hey, calm down, slow down, chill. I'm gonna be good. Get him to the hospital." And honest truth, we all thought that the way he was carrying himself from that incident, and what I was told from the people in the car, that he would have been fine.
The news of King Von's death sent shockwaves through the rap world. Known as one of Chicago's most fearless and notorious gang figures, it was hard to believe that he had been taken down in a feud with another rapper.
Made national headlines as officials confirmed one of the three people was rapper King Von from Chicago, who was here last night with friends.
Two groups of individuals got into a physical altercation. That physical altercation escalated into an exchange of...
The very next day, an O-Black member went live on Instagram streaming footage of a King Von mural being painted just steps away from O-Block.
Check it out. Let's walk over here and see this Von picture. I know it's a lot of options. I'm running y'all see where I'm at. Why is this black truck still right here? Man. Watch that truck. Watch that truck right there.